So central banking, the challenge with a solution to central banking is people's perception of reality. Okay, so I don't take it as argumentative. I mean, it's a legitimate question that you ask. And central banking has the allure of endless resources. People's desires are infinite. They will desire anything all the time, right? But resources themselves are finite. Okay, as is just like human life, everything is finite, right? I mean, everything eventually yields to entropy. Second law of thermodynamics. Everything eventually yields to this. So central banking gives this illusion of everybody can be rich all the time, and that is not the case. Okay, when you have a hard currency, and hard currency is the solution, yes, but you have to let bad money collapse first. Then you can bring back, people can rush to quality, so to speak, okay? So your hard currencies, whether it's orange internet money or gold, physical gold, not gold backed. There's nothing more deceptive than anything that's gold backed or so-called orange internet money backed, okay? Because the people that are backing it, they will always lend out more money, more dollars than there is anything to back it. That's where bank runs came from. So you have to want to go to hard currency. The challenge with hard currency is getting people to understand that means that all those jobs that you find objectionable, that most people, not you specifically, but most people find objectionable, like I don't want to be out in Houston roofing a house in August. Well, yeah, most people don't. Vast majority of people don't want to roof a house in Houston in August. But they do it for a result, right? They do it for money. And so the people who are willing to do that kind of work, they will end up absorbing lots and lots and lots of money, right? They will become very successful because they're willing to do all those jobs that you find objectionable. So when you think about it in those terms, that's who starts making most of the money, are the guys who are willing to do all the jobs you don't want to do. Once again, and I realize that, like, I'm going to get in your shit again on this one, but it's like, this is how this works. I read through the comments periodically, on the one on the video where I talked about, math catching up, right? And there's a whole bunch of feminists who pour to the woodwork saying, I'm anti-woman. Because of the alpha You realize all an alpha male isn't some juiced up fucking meathead walking around a gym all day. That's not an alpha. An alpha man is just someone who's willing to go do shit that other men won't do or can't do for themselves. That's it. That's all an alpha male is, right? It's sort of like, the warrior of the tribe, right? What's the cost of being a warrior, right? Well, you could lose your life. That's the cost. You could pay the ultimate cost, right? And so, yeah, I mean, you have this trade-off, okay? So when you carry that through to today's society, right, to civilization that we understand today, all that an alpha male is just someone willing to go slay a dragon that nobody else wants to slay, such as roofing a house in August in Houston, or emptying porta potties, or doing all these jobs that everybody else doesn't like. Right? So when you have a finite currency, okay, that obeys the laws of physics on the planet, then those people who are willing to do those jobs, those alphas, right? Remember, because I'm applying the term alpha in more of a generic sense. Again, not some juiced up fucking meathead, okay? I'm not picking on my juiced up meathead followers. I'm just pointing out, like, that's not what I'm talking about, okay? I'm talking about an attitude. Someone willing to go do shit that other people don't want to do or can't do for themselves, right? That's all that means. That means that those people, those men, typically men, not always, I mean, there's a lot of women too, but those guys are going to make the majority of the money because they're willing to do all the work that other people don't want to do. Well, most folks don't want that kind of, they don't want that kind of reality. They don't want to deal with that kind of reality because that means that, like, well, so you're saying that all the jobs that are jobs that I don't want to do are going to be the ones that pay the most. Yes, that's exactly what that means. In a real economy, that's what that means. In a real finite economy where you have an honest currency, that's exactly what that means. Central banking allows you to have the illusion of, I work in finance, I don't really do anything, I don't get my hands dirty, I have a manicure and so forth. It gives the illusion that actually is worth more, and it's really not, right? What's worth more, for example, I mean, let's be practical. Put yourself in the practical sense. How many people out there would like to own houses? Lots, okay? Millions and millions of people would love to own their own houses and just be left the fuck alone, right? By the government and everybody else, right? Well, somebody has to build all that stuff. Those are the guys who are willing to go out and build those houses. in the sun, in the rain, in the snow, all that shit. Waking up at like 5 o'clock in the morning when it's not even light outside, freezing your ass off to go get in your truck and warm your truck up for 30 minutes to go to the job site. Like, most people don't want to do that kind of stuff. But the guys who do, right, they're going to be the ones who profit the most in an honest economy, because then their currency can't be diluted on the back end of that. I mean, is this making sense? Their currency can't be diluted on the back end of this, right? This is where that company store thing, I almost sold the company store, Tennessee Henry Ford, who wrote, he made that, made or sung that. I don't know if he wrote it, but he sang the song, that we all know, stuff. Oh my soul, yeah, that one. Okay, see, if you're not given like little vouchers and you're being paid an honest currency, then you have competition. You can go out into the world and buy stuff from other small businesses and other competitors where prices can actually be put in check. Right now, central banking has actually made it as such that all these mega companies get to, you're effectively just spending worthless dollars at their company stores, and you're like, well, but the prices have come down. No, they haven't. Look at the quality. The quality of almost everything has gone right into the shitter. This is as a result of central banking. No question. So the alternative is to have hard currency. But you got to get past a lot of people's rejection, because hard currency carries with it certain implications that I'm convinced most people are not really prepared for mentally, because they thought, well, I could sit at a computer all day and dick around and answer a couple of emails and get paid $500,000 a year. No, that's not. That was never reality. That's fake. It's total bullshit. It was always a lie. It was a lie then. It's a lie now. Yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but again, go to hard currency, all that shit goes away. All of it. Companies immediately have to be profitable or they go under. That's it. And hard currency clarifies that. Now, historically, there has never been, and this is for my Orange Internet people, Orange Internet money people, right? Okay, you know who you are. I don't say the word on because I get spammed. You assume that you get a bunch of fucking spam. Or gold people, any of my hard currency people, right? If you understand that when you go to something like that, there has never been historically a time where good money has chased away bad money. It has never happened. I have never seen, no one has ever seen that happen. No one has ever watched it. What has to happen is the bad money has to collapse first. This is your central banks. In other words, your central banks, your dollar, all of these fake fucking bullshit currencies that are they're run by governments and bankers, have to collapse, right? You're not benefited. The average person out there, whether the average, let's say you're some guy in China, and like you're not benefited by central banks. You're not. You're benefited by free trade and fair trade, right? Honest trade. And the only way you keep that honest is with having honest money. If you want to have a dishonest society, have a dishonest money. If you want a dishonest society, have dishonest money, and people will follow suit. They'll just become dishonest, backstabbing, money-grubbing douchebags like they are now. Because because the money is dishonest. When you have an honest money, then it rewards honesty. It just does, because then you're able to actually tell people things, tell the truth, right? So the more honest your money is, the more honest your people will be. Every single time. The more dishonest your money is, the more dishonest everybody else is going to get. This is why people suck right now. They suck and then they suck some more. And it's just how it works. And we all see it. We're all watching this shit happen. We're all watching everything dissolve. But enough about the competency crisis. I'll get into that later on. But I mean, like, this is exactly what's happening. So I've never seen a good money chase away bad money. You have to get the central banks to collapse first. And then you have to hold on to your butts and hope that it works out after that. And this, of course, is where it goes into, unfortunately, the culture side of that. Because if everything collapses and there's no cohesive culture of any kind, you're going to be in for a wild fucking ride. And most people, what they're going to do is they're going to go crawling right back to central bankers saying, hey, fix all this because we want it back. Rather than actually say, okay, hold on, we fucked all this up. It's time to actually get busy and build shit ourselves and learn how to do things. So it answered your question. In short, the solution is hard currency, but education comes first. People have to understand this stuff first. So I hope that helps.